listening to the MMA Brothers Podcast, coming to you from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Your source for UFC news, previews, and post-fight coverage. Hosted by your favorite duo, Daryl and Asher. Let's get it started.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to the MMA Brothers Podcast. It's Daryl.
It's Asher.
And we're talking UFC Fight Night, Santos versus Teixeira. It's a preview. We're just going to cover the main card. Asher, got anything else to add?
No, I feel bad for Anderson Silva. That's what I'm going to say, but we can hop onto this preview.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to start off at the bottom of the main card. I'm sharing my screen right now for you guys to see. And the fight night starts off. Looks like there's only 4 fights on the main card, which is weird.
I believe that there's one fight that's missing, but like I will plug that in. The UFC website's not good with this stuff, but
yeah, no worries. So it's going to be Claudia Gadalia versus Yon Jonan. If I'm
Yang Xiaonan.
Xiaonan. Okay. Claudia's from Brazil. Xiaonan is from China. This is in the strawweight, I think, right?
Strawweight division. Yep.
Yon has a 1-inch height advantage. The reach is basically the same, with Claudia having half an inch of reach advantage. How do these ladies get it done? Claudia finishes her fights by 12% by KO, whereas Yon 45%. So Yon's going to be bringing the pain and going to be the forward aggressor due to this statistic. You're going to look into how they win submissions. 41% by Claudia Gadalia, meaning she's a jiu-jitsu practitioner and she can choke you on, very dangerous on the ground. So she's going to be looking to take this fight to the ground. Yon has no submission wins, so she's a straight-up striker. And her 55% wins by decision, and I'm speaking about Yon, also shows that she's a point fighter as well as a knockout artist. If you finish half your fights by knockout, half your fights by decision, it means you know how to point fight and get the decision done. Claudia Gadalia has 47% of her wins by decision, and she's a grappler. So what does this mean? Claudia's going to look to close the distance, take you down, and hold you down there for the whole time while she's shooting her submission attempts. That's going to be the game plan for both. Who do I think is going to win? Claudia is ridiculously dangerous on the ground, but I think Yon's prowess in stand-up is way better than Claudia's, so I'm going to have to go with Yon. Who do you got, Asher?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Claudia Gadalia. Yan Xiaonan, I think she's undefeated in the UFC right now. Yes, she does win a lot of her fights by KO or TKO, but I don't think she's going to KO or TKO Claudia Gadalia. Claudia Gadalia has fought the who's in the strawweight division. She did fight for the title against against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. So yeah, Claudia Gadalia is super experienced. Even though I thought she lost her last fight against Angela Hill, I actually did bet on Gadalia to win that fight. And then I remember watching it and I'm like, yo, Angela Hill won that fight, and then I think she won. Gadalia won a split decision. So yeah, I'm not
split decision win.
Yeah, so I'm not high on Gadalia's skills lately. But then again, if you look at that submission rate, 41%, she will take you down, and jiu-jitsu is up there in the division. So if you ask me who I'm gonna bet on, I'm gonna bet on Claudia Gadalia to get it done.
Yeah, good pick. It looks like we're going opposites as per usual, and then we're going to move on to Ian Heinisch versus Brendan All-In Allen. All right, so this is in the middleweight division. Mm-hmm.
Let me break this one down. So yeah, this one's in the middleweight division. Ian Heinisch, he's a guy that's liked a few of our posts on Instagram, so thank you if you ever hear this, Ian. You've liked a few of those. I know you don't even know who we are, but it's pretty cool. And Brendan Allen, there's also a backstory to this guy. This guy fought someone that we interviewed named Aaron Jeffrey. He fought him on the Contender Series, and he ended up beating Aaron Jeffrey in the first round by by submission. So there's a lot of MMA brothers connections in this fight right here. So it's pretty cool. And anyways, so Brendan Allen, he's 15-3. He's from the US. He's 6'2", and this is at 185. And then Ian Heinisch, he's a rock. He's 14-3. From America, and he's 5'11", so slightly shorter and has a 3-inch disadvantage towards Brendan Allen. So if you scroll down, Daryl, we can see how they both win fights. Brendan Allen is a guy that's super hyped. He's unranked right now, but like he's like I said before, he's undefeated. He does win a lot of his fights by submission, so he's really good on the ground. He's
not undefeated. He has 3 losses.
In the UFC, he is undefeated.
Oh, okay. Specific.
Yeah. So He's undefeated in the UFC, and Ian Heinrich, he has had a few L's, but I think his last win was against Jared Mershart, who just got KO'd viciously by Khamzat Chimaev. And yeah, he also got KO'd by Ian Heinrich. So the streak is pretty brutal for Gerald. But anyways, Brendan Allen, he should win this fight. He is the more skilled fighter, but even though Brendan Allen has a higher KO percentage, I'm leaning more towards Ian in terms of power, but I'm going to bet my money on Brendan Allen just because of that high submission percentage. So who you got?
I can't really break it down any better than you did. I'm just gonna go with that. But in terms of who I think is gonna win, I'm gonna have to go with Ian Heinisch, for two reasons. One, I think Ian's more dangerous on the feet. His KO percentage might not show it. He's got really, really heavy hands, and he likes to move forward, a la Ask Gerald. So with Ian, I'm really, really excited about this. He can not make a name. He's already 15th ranked versus an unranked guy, but like he can stick a claim to fight a top 10 ranked opponent should he get through Brendan Allen. And Brendan also beat our boy Aaron Jeffrey, so I'm going against Brendan, and I'm picking Ian Heinisch. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to Andrei Arlovsky versus Tanner Boser. Oh boy, that's the big boy, the bulldozer Boser. Let's go, he's Canadian. I love it.
Guy.
Yeah, and then Andrei the Pitbull Arlovsky is from Belarus. This is in the big boys heavyweight division. Andrei Arlovsky, he's fought the who's who in the heavyweight division. I think he's fought everyone. He's 29-19, 2 no contests. Tanner Bulldozer is 19-6-1. There's a 25-pound advantage for Tanner. He's a big dude.
I don't even waste your time breaking down this fight. Andrei Arlovsky is getting KO'd. Andrei Arlovsky, he's someone that like he's kind of like Anderson Silva, where he's stayed in the UFC far too long. I understand what the UFC has him because, he's somebody that has name recognition and, fighters or people, sorry, not fighters, people that are fans of the UFC since day one know who Arlovsky is. He was in the UFC. He became UFC heavyweight champ. He got cut. He went on a roll in different promotions, won a bunch of fights, came back into the UFC. He was on a fighting streak. I think he was maybe a fight or two away from getting another title shot, but then he ended up losing. And then since then, he's just been losing and then maybe one fight in between, 1 or 2 fights in between. So yeah, I expect Tanner Boser to just land a left hook, right hook combination or left straight or whatever, something, and then Arlovsky is going down because that chin is weathered. That's the nicest way to say it. It's a weathered chin. So it's not going to take too much from Tanner to take down the Pitbull. So you should change that nickname too. I don't know if the Pitbull is the right nickname for him still. So it feels like I'm being an Arlovsky hater, but I'm just saying, guys, it's not looking good for him. So, and as you can see, that 50% KO percentage, yes, it's high. It's Arlovsky's is 61%, so it's slightly higher. But hey, I'm picking Tanner, the Canadian boy. Let's go.
You gotta go with the Bulldozer, man. He's the younger fighter. He's just the bigger dude. I mean, don't sleep on Andre. He still got those hands. They might not be as heavy as they used to be, but he still got some hands. And his chin is okay. It's not as tissue paper. There's different. There's Chuck Liddell. Then there's Andrei Arlovsky. Andre can still take 1 or 2 shots. He's kind of like Junior. Junior can't take any shots anymore. I think Andre's chin is a little bit less weathered than Junior's. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Canadian. I just think he's a young, hungry lion in the division. He's gonna come get it done, make Canada proud. And I think he's gonna get it done by first round TKO. It's gonna be pretty bad. So I'm gonna move on to Thiago Santos versus.
Oh wait! Sorry, before you move on, there's actually one fight in between. It's not showing on the UFC website, but I just pulled it up on Google because the UFC website, because there's only 4 fights it showed here, 4 or 5, but there's actually 6 going to be in the main card. So there's one bantamweight fight. I don't know if this has been one that they've just slid in, but this has just been happening, lately with the UFC. But it's Ranoi Barcelos versus Khalid Taha. So Ranoi, he's 15-1, and Khalid Taha is 13-2. So they're both fighters with pretty good records. Only 1 loss on one side, and then only 2 losses on the other side. Khalid Taha, I have seen his fights. He is a super athletic guy, and this fight's at bantamweight, by the way. He's a super athletic guy, He has fast hands, he has power in both hands, and he can knock dudes out. But Barcelos is the same thing, but just not as athletic. So in this one, seeing as the experience is kind of the same on both ends, um, I don't really know who to pick for this one, and they're both unranked fighters. So I'm gonna go with Khalid Taha just because I think he's a more athletic fighter and he has the heavier hands. So Daryl, who you got?
I'm going to echo that testament. I can't really see it from my end because I didn't even know that those guys were fighting, thanks to the UFC not putting it on their website. Couldn't even do my due diligence there, but I'm just going to go with Taha as well. There's nothing really, I can't even go against you with that one. I don't know. I don't know anything about those fighters, but that's probably going to be the first fight of the night, if I'm not mistaken. If they're two unranked guys, they're probably earlier in the
No,
night.
they're according to Google, they're placed third, third last. So they're behind the co-main, which is Arlovsky and Tanner. So yeah,
Interesting. Okay. Oh,
the
so
UFC
okay.
does weird things sometimes with like the way they put fights on the card. But anyways, we can move on to the main event.
Yeah, we're gonna go. This is for one of the top contenders at 205 to face Jan Blachowicz. Thiago Moreta Santos versus Glover, no nickname Teixeira. So Glover, 31 wins, 7 losses. Thiago Santos, 21 wins, 7 losses. Both Brazilian. Thiago moved up from the middleweight division. Same reach in 76 inches. Now, how do these guys get it done? Thiago Santos, 71% KO TKO rating. So what does that mean? He gets it done on the feet. He's a dangerous, explosive striker that is going to be one to reckon with. He's just coming off 2 knee surgeries on both knees, learned how to walk, and now he's back in the thing. Good on him. Glover, how does he get it done? 59% KO TKO for the old man from Brazil. I think he's 41. Glover is, but he's making a run for it. You know, he KO'd Anthony Smith, and he won his last fight too. I forget who he beat, but 28% on the ground. I think Glover's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
14% by decision to Santos is 27%. How do I think the fight's going to go down? Glover is the better technical boxer, meaning if it's in boxing range, I expect Glover to get a handle on the fight and dominate it after the second round. I think Santos is going to start heavy. He's going to go Glover, try to get him out of there quickly in the first round because Santos throws some pretty powerful strikes and they're unorthodox sometimes. So he likes getting his back against the fence. Don't think that you're winning the fight by doing that because that's when you unleash the beast. You can ask John Jones. You remember that part of the fight with Jones, Asher? Mm-hmm. When Santos was backing up and then Jones still didn't want to engage him. He's like, okay, dude, this, at any moment, this guy could turn off the lights like that, right? So I think there's a nice like Cinderella story with Glover. He's about to retire, get his chance. I want him to win, but Thiago's going to get it done by TKO. Probably in the first round.
Yeah, Glover Teixeira, he's been on a roll lately. I think he's won like 3 or 4 straight fights, or maybe more. But yeah, there's obviously his most recent victory was against Anthony Smith, and that was a brutal stoppage by my boy Jason Herzog. But anyways, Glover Teixeira this is his last run of the title. He's like 41 years old right now. And Thiago Santos was on a roll before he fought John Jones for the title. A lot of people actually thought he won that fight. Jones did win by split decision. So in terms of betting on this fight, I do have a feeling that like Thiago Santos is gonna what?
Glover, since he lost to Corey Anderson in decision, has won 4 in a row. He beat Carl Robertson, Ion Cutelaba, Nikita Krylov, and then Anthony Smith.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. I knew he was on a roll right now. But then again, also Santos is on a roll, knocking dudes out 205 since moving up from middleweight. So it's going to be an interesting fight, to be honest. I can't wait for this one because I don't know whose cardio is going to last longer because both of them have shown that they can go 5 rounds. Like Santos went 5 rounds with Jones and Teixeira went 5 rounds with Anthony Smith before he finished him in the 5th, I think, 4th or 5th round. But I feel like the way Santos fights is he's just gonna come guns blazing the first round and a half, maybe first 2 rounds he's gonna come out that way, or maybe he won't. Maybe he's a changed fighter. Maybe he's not gonna come out that way. The problem with Glover Teixeira is that he doesn't move his head a lot. Like he gets hit. You know what I mean? Like yes, he may move his head, but like he does get hit. Like so. You don't want to get hit by Thiago Santos. Like it doesn't take much for this guy to touch you in order for you to go to sleep. So that's the only thing that worries me about Glover. He's too hittable. So I want to put my money on Santos, but I wouldn't be surprised if Glover Teixeira takes Santos to the ground, who I think he's also a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well, if I'm not mistaken. So that 71% KO percentage is nothing to play with. So I'm going to choose Santos. I'm going to choose Santos to win this one. But I would not be surprised if Glover pulls it out.
Yeah, guys, let us know what you think. You know our picks for this evening. Like, comment, subscribe. MMA Brothers Pod. Do you guys think that this is the next contender? Do you think it's Israel Adesanya? Due to Dana White coming out and saying that Izzy wants to fight with Jan Blachowicz, and the fact that Robert Whittaker didn't call out Izzy after his last win, Dana's like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? You know what I'm saying? You just beat 2 fights in a row, and he wanted to fight Cannonier, was supposed to be next in line. You just beat him, and then you still don't want to fight Izzy? I think Izzy mentally has gone into Robert Whittaker's head. So I was super surprised about that. But what do you think, Asher?
Yeah, I don't even know what to think about it, but what I'm going to say now is that, like Daryl said, if you let us know what you think, if Jan should face the winner of this main event, or if Israel Adesanya should be the next opponent for that champ status. So either way, I'm excited to see whoever Jan's going to face next. And like Daryl said, like, comment, subscribe. For those that are listening on Spotify, you can follow us on Instagram, MMA Brothers Pod. And then for those on YouTube, please comment below what you think. And we'll see you guys in the next one. We have a few interviews that will be coming up soon, so hopefully you look forward to those. And that's pretty much it from us, guys. Hope you have a good night or good day or good afternoon wherever you are. See ya.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the MMA Brothers Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please give us a follow on our socials. You can check out a description of this episode for more, but don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at MMA Brothers Pod. We'll see you on the next episode.